All right, thanks for coming to Parents versus Gaming. I'm joined again by Kia. And you know what, Kia? A lot of people know me. They know who Jordan was. They know who Jay was because he yells and gets angry. Of course, my name's James III. I go by the JT3 on Twitch. And Kia, let's take a minute and just to get to know you. A lot of people haven't gotten a chance to fully get to know you. Some of our listeners, you just kind of joined in on the rush. Then we took our break, and then we came back, and we never really took a deep dive into who is Killa Kane. So we always refer to you as Kia here. We're I go by James, and we have Jay. Is it Kia? Like that's
Mhm.
your actual first name?
That's part of my first name. My full first name is Kia Chandra, but I just go by Kia.
Kia Chandra, but do you go by
Yeah.
KIA or do you go by KILLA?
Okay, so the way it's pronounced is kind of like, you know how tortilla is?
Yeah.
It's Spanish word, so you pronounce it without the L's. So, technically the way you would pronounce it is KIA. It's Kia.
Uh-huh.
So the L's are silent. So.
But your full name, is it KILLA? How do you spell your full name?
KILLASHANDRA.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
I thought my brother had a
long.
off the beaten path name. His name's Kalani, and you've blown that one out of the water.
Before my married name, my full name was one letter longer than the entire alphabet.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Because my maiden name is Polish. So it's actually not pronounced any way that it's actually spelled. So, yeah, lots of fun. I had lots of fun growing up. My middle name is super short, though. It's only 3 letters.
Wow.
So I got
only 3 letters.
Super long. Yeah, only 3 letters. I got a super long first name, and I got a super long maiden last name, and a teeny little middle name.
So you're Polish?
Yes.
So are you a big drinker? Or used to be?
I used to be. I don't drink like I used to. I still drink every once in a while, but I don't get crazy anymore.
Not as much as it was.
Not as much as I used to.
Okay,
sure.
so give us a little backstory on you, right?
Okay.
You joined us,
Yes.
Now a lot of people know we kind of found each other through just me streaming my normal channel and joining your Discord channel. But what got you into gaming?
My dad. Apple didn't fall far from the tree. My dad has been gaming since before I was even born. He has pictures of me sitting on his shoulders while he's gaming on his Atari. So so I grew up gaming, and so anytime I went to my dad's, because my mom and dad split when I was younger. I was like 7 when they split. But anytime we'd go to my dad's, we always got to game. My dad is a PC gamer and a console gamer. He mainly plays on console. He plays on PlayStation. He's been a very hardcore PlayStation fan since PlayStation came out, hence why I'm such a huge PlayStation fan. That's where I got started. My dad used to play little games like Baldur's Gate on the PC, and I would too. Little games like that. Yeah, I'm like, that's a little game. No, it's not. But it's not a little game. But he would do that, like Dungeon Keeper, and so I would play those games as well on PC. And then when we would play on PlayStation, like I would have to stay up like super late just to get my turn on the PlayStation, which killed my dad because I was such a night owl. And he would always fuss at me. He's like, I don't get to spend any time with you because you're always asleep during the day. And I'm like, I'm sorry. So I had to like readjust. But I would play Final Fantasy when my brothers would get off the PlayStation, and if they wouldn't, my my dad always had Tekken, which was a fighting game for those who didn't know. It was a multiplayer game. No online, of course. It was not an online game at the time. There really wasn't a whole lot of online games at that point either.
Mm.
So we would get on and we would play Tekken, and I was what you call a button masher.
I'm still that in a fighting game.
I didn't know combinations, but I would kick their butts and they would get so mad at me, and they'd say it wasn't fair because all I did was button mash.
Yeah. All
like,
right.
oh.
Now, I want to fast forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're a girl. You get into high school.
Yes.
Did gaming ever take a back seat? Did you stop gaming for a time?
No.
Or did you?
Anytime
So you kept going. You've
Yes.
never, since you were a kid, you've always gamed.
I've always gamed since I was a kid. It's just something I've always loved. Thankfully, I was one of those kids. I didn't necessarily fit in with anybody, at any specific crowd. Like, I wasn't considered just a nerd. I wasn't considered just a jock because I did play sports. But I also did band. I did, I did really good in school. I was teacher's pet. So I didn't have a crowd. I meandered everywhere, and I always had friends. They also knew I was the kid that would stick up for anybody who was getting bullied. I didn't
You're the
tolerate
guardian.
it. I was the guardian. I did not tolerate it. And anybody in school would tell you, don't let her catch you bullying. She will get all in your face. I never got into any fights. I just was like, hey, look, quit doing this. There's no point in that. I was just like that. I definitely stuck up for people who did get bullied. I was just, I don't know. I like I said, I didn't have a crowd, but I had friends that also gamed. And in fact, I have one. She just started streaming. She's a baby streamer. She just started. She reached out to me. She has two little boys herself. And she reached out to me and she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you streamed. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I just started. Is there any way you can help me with some of my stuff? And I'm like, yeah, girl, I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
But she was my first friend I ever made when I moved here. And we've been friends since. We've always kept in touch. And she was a hardcore gamer. Her parents gamed, she gamed, and they always gamed on PC. So I had told her I had just made the switch to PC because she knew I played on console for a long time. So I had a bunch of friends that gamed. I gamed. Nobody picked on me for it. I never stopped gaming. So
Okay, now we're done with high school.
Yes.
Now, how long have you been married?
Oof. July makes 15 years.
Holy cow! So not too far out of high school.
No,
did you guys meet in high school?
Mm-mm. He is almost 5 years apart. We are almost 5 years apart. Almost.
Exactly.
It's 4 years and 11 months. It's crazy.
Okay.
So he will turn 40 in December, and then in January I'll be 36. So it's we're right there at the almost 5 years apart. But we met actually at my work. My work did take up a lot of my time, so I did kind of stop gaming for, I guess, a little bit because I worked. And I took care of my siblings, so I didn't always have a lot of time for gaming. But we did have a Nintendo 64, and so when I did have time off, I would game with
played
my
Mario
little
Kart.
Brothers. Yes, no, I never got to play Mario Kart.
What did you play with the brothers?
Just regular Mario, and I forget there was
no
one
GoldenEye.
No, I don't think we played GoldenEye.
Oh,
I don't think we had
it.
The
leaps and bounds and jumps and genres you have taken over the years.
We just didn't have a lot to we grew up kind of poor, so
hey, I'm right there with you. I totally get it.
A lot of our stuff was secondhand, it was just handed down to us.
I didn't even get a 64. I had a Nintendo all the way through high school.
Nice.
And I'm
I mean,
41.
hey, there's
so you
nothing.
couldn't
There's
listen.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, my friends are over there playing Goldeneye. The only time I got to play that is if I went to their house. Otherwise, I'm over here
Yeah.
playing Super Mario Brothers 3 and Blades of Steel.
Yeah, that's pretty much what.
Yeah.
That's what we did. That's what we did too.
Duck Hunt was still a highlight in the late 90s for me.
Yeah. So yeah, we actually met at my work. I worked at a gas station. I worked my way up to actually manager of that gas station. I started when I was 17, and that's when we met. And he was very persistent, and I was like, "No, I'm not coming to hang out with you. Like, it's not happening." Because he used to go to the party house that was right across the street from where I worked.
Yeah.
And so I knew. I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. Like, I have school, I have track, like I have responsibilities. Like, this is not happening."
But you finally gave in?
I did. Because I was, like I said, he was older than me. So I kept telling him, like, I was like,
you got bored, didn't you?
This isn't happening.
So you got bored one night and you decided to go hang out, didn't you?
No, he came in actually on my birthday because I worked my birthday. Birthday was never something I celebrated a lot of, mostly because, well, we grew up poor. My birthday is 2 weeks after Christmas.
Okay.
So we never had money for my birthday.
I feel you there. I'm a week after Christmas.
Yeah. So that's right. You're a January baby as well.
Yeah.
I forgot. When's yours again?
The 3rd.
Okay, mine's the 8th. So
it was always like,
so you
hey,
get
this
it,
is
like
your Christmas and birthday present.
Yes.
Then 2 months later, your sibling gets like a full-on birthday present. You're
ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never really celebrated it. It was never something that I held dear to my heart. I was just one of those people. I was like, it's a birthday. Like, it's whatever. It's just another day. So I worked my birthday. And he came into my store because I told him, I was like, I'm 17, so you can't, like, we can't date. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
I'm 17, I'm too young, And so he came in and he goes, well, you're 18 now, so what's your excuse? And I was like, oh, damn, he's got me there.
Yeah.
So I did. I hung out. We became friends. I actually moved in with him. We were friends at the time, and I just needed a place to go because I was like tired of living under my mother's thumb.
Yeah, of course.
I was her babysitter. I did everything for her because she worked a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's just she was single most of my life, and I was tired of being the second mom to my siblings.
You just needed a break.
I moved out, and he offered a place for me to stay, and so we became friends. We hung out a lot, and then we started dating.
Okay.
And we dated for a year. He proposed, which I thought was crazy, because he was drunk and I was drunk, and I was like, "There's no."
But he must have had it still planned, right?
Like the next day, I was like, "Are you sure? Like, do you remember asking me this?" And he goes, "Yeah, I remember." I was like, "Oh, so you weren't as drunk as I thought you were."
As
so
you're trying to like sober up still.
I was like, "Oh God, what did I get myself into?" So we stayed engaged for a year, and we got married when I was 20. So we have been together for 17 years.
Okay. Now here, listen.
Married for 15.
I know. So we're talking about he does have a Twitch name. Do you want to throw out his Twitch name?
Yes, it is the Mr. J.
Yeah. So for those that are DC fans, obviously a play on the Joker. So my question to you: did you make him a gamer, or was he already a gamer?
No, he was already a gamer.
Okay.
He got me into shooters. I was never big on shooters.
And for those that are still learning gaming, we're talking about a video game shooter, like your Call of Duty, your Halo, Apex. I don't want anyone to be like, he got me into shooting people.
Yes,
like,
yes,
in the
virtual world. Only in games.
Yes.
He actually got me into my first FPS, which is first-person shooter. Halo.
Of course.
Got me into Halo, of course, because they were hardcore Halo players. And
did he do the whole LAN parties? Take your machine over and hook up the LAN cable?
Yep. Halo at the time was not an online game. Yes, believe it or not, people, Halo was not always an online game.
Did they set like the TVs back to back so teams couldn't screen cheat?
They actually, so the party house.
Was a gaming house.
Actually
is what you mean by that.
was kind of no, they hardcore partied as well. But they had specific nights where they would do LAN parties, and they would all bring their Xbox over. They would bring their extra TVs, and they would set up in separate rooms so people couldn't screen watch. Because we had a few of those that were really bad about that.
Hey, listen, if you're gonna put your screen next to me, I'm looking. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. It's not like it's just gonna be like, wait.
Listen, when I went over to my friends to play GoldenEye, so GoldenEye, for those that don't know, was a 4-player split screen, everyone versus each other, but it's all on the same television. Mm-hmm. And my friends used to get mad. They were like, "You're looking at my screen," and my argument would be,
"You're looking at mine.
You guys play this every day. I get to play this once a week when I come over."
Yeah.
If I have memorized the levels more than you guys already to know where you are by looking at your little box in the corner, that's on you, buddy.
Right?
Like, you should know I'm coming. So get your accuracy better.
100% on them.
Yeah. All right. So you guys, what got you into? I mean, now you're both streaming.
Yes.
And you've been killing it. What got you into the whole streaming concept?
I was actually pushed into it. My husband pushed me into it along with an old friend of mine. They both pushed me into it. They said I would be really good at it, and I said I don't know because I'm very self-conscious. So I was like, I don't think I would be good at it. So I started streaming from my PlayStation originally, and I didn't have a camera. And they kept telling me like, you need to get a camera. It'll help you grow more, because then people can actually see you. And I'm like, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I couldn't find a PlayStation 4 camera, so we found a workaround for me because at the time I was just streaming from my PlayStation.
Yeah, and that happened because of the PSVR. Everyone had to buy the camera all of a sudden.
Yes, and of course with COVID and stuff, a lot of people had started.
And I'm his side.
Okay, hi. Okay,
and there's Kane.
You need to go. Yes, and there's Kane.
And we'll get to Kane here in a minute.
I need you to go do your schoolwork, baby.
See, just like any other parent, you still gotta move them around. It doesn't change.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. So he. But anyways. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So I couldn't get a camera. We found a workaround.
As Kia gets her son back on track with schoolwork this morning, we'll learn a little bit more on how she found her camera.
Sorry. He's like,
hey, no.
He's like,
that's what this show's about, right? So, balancing life and being a parent.
It is, and I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools, so it's like even extra at that point.
Yeah,
but sure. So we got me a camera, obviously not a PlayStation 4 camera, which Sony does not like other devices to go with their stuff. So we had to find a workaround. I was having issues with the capture card not wanting to work. Audio was messed up. Like, didn't matter what I was doing. But I found a workaround for it. And I have since, because I couldn't get a hold of a PlayStation 5, I have since mostly started streaming most of my stuff from my PC at this point. Because it was easier and...
it is so much easier.
It is easier setup, easier stuff for your PC. So I did go ahead and start making the switch to PC. I've started learning mouse and key on Apex. I used to be a controller player because I played on PlayStation. So I was a console player on Apex for a long time. And I say a long time. I literally just got into Apex last year. But for a while that's what I did. I played controller on console with Apex for a while, and then I made the switch, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna learn mouse and key, and so I have since made the switch over. I still have a few old games that I want to play that I probably will stream, like Spyro or something like that, from my PlayStation.
Okay.
So.
I got you. All right. So now here's my last couple questions.
Okay.
we're all on TikTok. We all do our little TikTok videos, and
I'm
one
horrible
that
at
sticks
TikTok.
out to me just hearing your story, right? One TikTok video that sticks out to me just from hearing your story is you'll see the girl that, like, for those listening on audio, if you want to jump over to YouTube or check out Kia's stream on Twitch, we'll have it linked into all the descriptions and everything. I believe it's Killa Kane 0801. Okay.
01. Yeah.
Which is KILLAKANE 0. What is it again?
0801.
0801. The numbers throw me off all the time.
I know.
The 8th of January.
Yeah.
I'll get it now. Now I get it. Yeah. Because I do a lot of 3181 with me, which is the 3rd of January. 81 is when I was born. Okay. So Kia's a very attractive mom. She knows that. That's probably why Mr. J was like, get a camera because you get more viewers.
He did. Yeah. He was very much
Yeah.
like that.
So do you get to make those videos where, like, where the girl comes on and she says, when he pays attention to the weird girl in high school and after, and then they like show themselves being all weird, and then they show a picture of now, and they're like this really attractive, mature mom, and then the guy's just in the background like the luckiest guy in the world.
No, I haven't done that one.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
am so horrible with TikTok, like so horrible.
Hey, I've
content. I've made a few baking. I've made a few baking TikToks, and I've uploaded a few of my Apex gameplay. But as far as like making videos, I'm so self-conscious of myself that I have such a hard time with that.
And I tell people all the time that some people ask me, who's Kia? Like, what does she stream? Would I like her? And I talk about just how wholesome of a streamer you are constantly. It's really impressive. And if you listen to the Last Choice Gamecast episode that just released today, we talk about a streamer. We're actually talking about Pokimane and how we thought she was super wholesome and how we're starting to believe that she's not. So if you get a chance, anyone listening, you want to check out Last Choice Gamecast, we can take a deep dive into what's going on and how she became so popular and what is currently happening and why we feel,
see, I haven't been in
duped.
a lot of her streams lately.
Yeah, we feel like we've been duped by her lately. She just re-signed with Twitch. But one of the things that I can't, sometimes you come across a stream, right, Kia? You've done this yourself, I'm sure, where it just leaves a lasting impression on you, for better or for worse, right?
Yes.
And I haven't had one of those experiences in a while until I dropped into your stream the other night. And you were just playing with your son, Kane.
Yep.
And you were playing Apex Legends. And again, for those that don't know, it's a shooter game. It's a very competitive shooter game.
Very competitive.
Extremely competitive shooter game. And Kane's okay. Like, he's young, right? We've talked about this before. But every time we get on to play games now, it's always about competitive, and sometimes we lose the fun from ourselves, right? We don't have as much fun sometimes in games as we used to because we're always about trying to be the best and be super competitive.
Yep.
And for 30 minutes, I watched you play Apex Legends with your son, and all he's doing is driving around in a car having a blast.
Yeah.
And you didn't care that it could have hurt your KD. Nope. Like, you weren't doing it because you were just trying to make him have fun. Like, you were also having fun.
I was having an absolute blast. I was laughing. He was laughing.
So, I mean, I can only imagine just seeing this car trying to play Apex Legends competitively and just seeing this vehicle drive around the map being like, what are they doing?
Oh my gosh. We made it with him. No shooting. No gunplay whatsoever. We made it to top 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Top 5. We were literally just driving around. We were laughing, having a blast. He almost launched us off the map, saved it crazily. Like, I don't even know how he saved it. He just did. And it was so funny because one of the streamers that I watch, Little Nudes, she actually was in my chat, and she's like, oh my God, he's tap strafing already in a vehicle. I was like, it's crazy how good kids are, even at a very young age, because their reflexes
Oh
are
my God, they
so
blow
much
ours
faster
away,
than
right?
ours. And then, of course, as adults are like raging because we're losing to like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, of course. But I wanna
But
speak to the fact that as a parent, you do the homeschool thing.
yeah.
You're trying to be a competitive gamer yourself. Still taking that time to like, here's someone that like you could have had just Kane watching you. It's your
Hmm.
stream. You could have been playing competitively, trying to improve your ranking like you normally do. But you're going the extra mile and you're taking that time to not only game with your kid, doing something he likes watching you do,
Yeah.
is you just turn it into fun. And it's like you're almost teaching him that it's okay to have fun in gaming. It doesn't have to be win, win,
Yes.
win, win, win.
Yes.
Speak to that a little bit on just your thoughts and
Okay.
how you manage that.
I think it's very important for kids. It's something my dad did a lot of. My dad always made it very clear that if you're getting upset over a game, you need to take a break. 100% you need to take a break because you should not be getting that upset over a video game. And trust me, I have been there. I have been salty. I have gotten upset. But someone had said something like, and it blows my mind. I'm sorry. And if you're one of those people, you blow my mind. I don't understand it. People that break their controllers because they are so mad
Listen,
that
I've
they
only broke about 4 or
throw.
5, okay?
Oh my
I'm
gosh!
41.
I have never broken a controller, and I have been mad. But my dad was very, very like, you do not throw your equipment because it's expensive to replace. But he was very adamant that, you didn't do that stuff. And
Listen,
I
I'll
drilled that
tell
into
you,
Kane's head too. I'm like,
I
you don't do
listen,
that.
I want to throw a little defense in myself, okay? Now, I agree with everything you're saying. But here's my defense. Remember, I had a a Nintendo all the way up through high school.
Yeah.
A regular Nintendo.
Oh, I know.
And then I finally got a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Now, for any of those that have had Nintendo, the Duck Hunts, the original Mario Brothers, you got mad.
You
You hit the
did.
jump button the wrong way. The stupid little flying fish killed you in Mario.
Yep.
And back then you didn't have saves. No, you had to start over. You
Yep.
did 6 hours in a game and then start all the way back over at the beginning. You wanted to throw yourself off a cliff.
Yeah.
Now, when you threw a Nintendo controller, the only thing you had to worry about was that you didn't hit a wall close enough for it to bounce back and hit you in the head. Those things were indestructible.
I know, right?
So I was used to chucking a Nintendo controller across the room and it not breaking.
Yeah.
But then I moved to a PlayStation in my late teens.
Oh boy.
And if you dropped a controller, it could shatter into a million
It's
pieces.
shattered. Yes.
So in my defense, my rage from that Nintendo allowed me to have
Yeah.
did not translate very
didn't
well
translate.
to PlayStation. I don't think I probably haven't
Oh.
broken a controller since the Xbox 360 days because they
Yeah.
are expensive now.
They are very expensive now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my dad was just very like, you shouldn't be this upset. So he always made sure that we took breathers and breaks because obviously playing games like Tekken with your siblings, you can get very heated
Yeah.
very quickly. Um, so he always made sure he's like, if you're not having fun, you need to take a break. You need to take a breather, take a step away. So I do the same thing with Kane because even that, like, a lot of times he doesn't understand that these people that he plays against when they beat him, I'm like, baby, you have to understand these people have probably been playing longer than you, and they're probably older than you, and they probably know more. So you need to understand that, and it's okay to lose. Like, you don't have to win all the time. Like, he is very competitive, so I will say he did get that from me. So he's very, very competitive, and he wants to win all the time, which I understand because
Yeah.
I am very competitive myself. But because my dad always drilled it into my head that it's okay to lose, it's not a big deal. It just gives you room for improvement because then you know where you need to improve at. So Kane has, for being 6 years old, has improved. I told my friends, I said he's gonna surpass me in kills at this point because he's doing so well. He went from 9 kills on his Octane, which is one of his legends, to 17 that night. I was like, I'm sitting at 27 kills on my lifeline, who I just started on my PC. Granted, I had just started her on my PC. And I'm like, I'm sitting here at 27, you're at 17, like you're 10 kills behind me, like you're gonna surpass me soon. But he's getting better, like, cause I keep telling him, like, he panics really bad. And so I tell him, like, don't panic. Tell me where they're at. Like, call them out. Ping them. Do something. Like, explain to me what's going on, where they're at, and stuff like that. So he has gotten a lot better about that. But it's just getting him to understand that it's okay to lose and that you're not always going to win, because someone is going to be better than you, and it's going to be all right.
Well, like I said, for those listening to Parents First Gaming, definitely check out Kia's stream. If you have kids that think they might want to get into streaming and you want them to see somebody that is pretty wholesome, keeps an eye on their chat, doesn't let anything crazy happen.
Nope. My mods are on top of that.
The closest thing that happens is usually me jumping in, giving her a hard time, teasing her about her game, or a few of us others, but nothing R-rated or anything like that comes across. I would definitely check her out. Again, we'll put the description in, and of course, every Monday, you can hear Kia right here on Parents vs. Gaming as we continue this podcast. Kia, again, I know we've been a little wishy-washy here. I had a bachelor party, and we'll get into that in the next episode. But we are super thankful to have you. Super thankful for you to join Parents vs. Gaming and to continue this podcast. We are really close. It's coming up on a year, which is crazy.
I'm super thankful for you guys having me too.
So we are excited, and we will see you guys next Monday. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.